Warning: what you are about to hear goes against traditional romantic counsel expressed by friends, family, and Instagram memes and quotes. Open-mindedness is advised.
Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. And welcome to another edition of the Senate. I am your host, Neil Hoyt. He is your host. He is your host, Derek Marshall. My brother. We're on another episode, another week. What's up, man? Tell me what's good.
I am here. I am well. Hail, people. We in the house one more time. Welcome to everybody. Had to ice these and thing. Get ready for this show.
Boy.
Yeah. But I hear, see, we got a couple people in the house already. Welcome to you. Good night to have. Always a pleasure to have you. We can talk the things tonight. But yeah, Neil, tell me how you're doing, my brother.
My good.
I didn't see you on the court. I didn't see you in the court this evening. So
No, this evening I had a bit of work to take care of. Somebody called a meeting at 4:30.
That's scrimmage time.
Slightly annoying, but it is what it is until it isn't. Good night, Jennifer. Good night, Omar. Right. But yeah, man, I'm good. You know how it is, like trucking on. Back in the gym, trying to get it. You know how it is. Trying to take care of myself mentally and physically. Because same trucking on, same old. So my brother, before we get into it, G-Syndicate, you know how it is. Let the people know where to find you.
Yeah, man. G-Syndicate6.com. We're working on a new project, so you can get some updates and some information about that. We had a tune that we wanted to release, but then, we decided to kind of hold it back. We were actually working on an album now, so we're putting that together. Mm-hmm. So yes, we are in studio. Well, preparing to go into studio now. So we're in the rehearsal process. I see some people in the chat early. Good night to all of you. We're getting ready. Shout out to you guys. Vaden, Kiamal, Mark, Brett, and Antonio. Shout out as always. Big ups. Working hard, making sure the music is right. I am dealing with some water tonight. Going sparkling.
She so bright.
So we got some
Swag.
Let's try to keep it cool,
Try to keep it.
And keep it stylish at the same time,
Oh, yeah.
So yeah. That's what we're dealing with tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, brother. So
you ready to get this?
You know me. I always ready for it. You know what I mean? So let's get into it. Now, everybody knows what
slow got to do. Yeah. We roll it. So the question was, are you willing or prepared to date outside of your educational and socio-economic bracket in order to find a partner for a quality long-term relationship or marriage? Jennifer is saying we have no song.
I think she meant from me. For some reason, the software I use updated, and with the new update comes a lot of bugs. So what happened was just now, it just for whatever reason cut the sound for me. But I think you're good, Derek, so you could go ahead.
All right, cool. So are you willing, prepared to date outside of your educational bracket, educational and socio-economic bracket? And by outside, I mean up or down, date up or down, in order to find a partner for a quality long-term relationship or marriage? That is a question on the docket for tonight. And I know a couple of people asked me, well, ladies in particular asked me about this phenomenon, dating down. Some people had never heard the term before, and I found that interesting. Some people are thinking that they actually have to do that consistently. I even spoke to someone only last night who told me that, yeah, men tend to date down as a rule. So there are a whole set of thoughts on this thing. So it says we do some, do a little digging. And it says men tend to date down simply out of necessity. If we assume strict monogamy, then there would be the least compromise in mate quality. Everybody gets somebody more or less on their own level of attractiveness, right?
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing, right? I heard Chad said it in the chats, yeah, in the responses. If we go back to the responses, so let me misquote Chad. Chad Goring, this is one of my workmates, so big up Chad. She tends to tune in pretty often.
Mm-hmm.
And he made the point that men tend to date down, not necessarily worry too much about the whole concept of looking for a particular partner or whatever. Just trying to find this comment that he made. So let me do that. So in the comments, Chad, when he made the point, he says that men do it all the time. Because most men don't care what a woman does. A man will see an attractive female, for example, cleaning the side of the road or digging a grave. Not saying they are bad jobs, but not the norm for most. And he will still approach and talk to her,
Mm-hmm.
right? Fergie, in response to that, Fergie, you haven't seen any Fergies yet, but Fergie made the point. Society dictates that both genders look at it differently. Harry would marry Meghan, but Serena going to marry Alexis. Eventually, women will have to adjust as well. And so, as women continue to earn more, they'll have to provide. It's part and parcel of equality. There's a whole other conversation
Mm-hmm.
altogether. Some will resist it now, but the heart wants what the heart wants. Men will also start hooking up with older women too. So where are we?
Where are we?
Where are we? Are men attracted to successful women? Because, they obviously school of thought that men date down.
Mm-hmm.
And as Chad said, a man would pick up a woman alongside the side of the road, and he ain't care what she look good enough, he ready to rock with it, right? And that's the point. Men are attracted to beautiful women. Point blank. Punto final.
Yep.
Men are attracted to beautiful women, right? What does that mean then? What are the implications of that for women? It means, ladies, you got to kind of, make yourself as beautiful as you can, right? Here's the challenge for successful women. Your academic achievements don't matter
Not
when it comes to securing a long-term relationship or marriage. They
not
don't.
to us.
Yeah? They just don't. You're also going to attract your sexual marketplace value. So the cuter you are, the better your shot you got at attracting a dude of means, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. When I say attracting a dude of a man of means, I don't mean somebody that can just come and blow your back for the night and go on. You know what I mean?
Itself.
There's a difference between having someone come and fold you up like laundry and beat the brakes off of you, and having someone to be there not only at 2:37 a.m., but to share the special moments, share Valentine's or year's night, them kind of things, right? So that's the challenge that women have, because the higher up you go, right, the more money you make. Sorry, let me start the other way. The more education you get, the more money you make. There's certain things you don't want for yourself, and understandably so, right? Unfortunately, time is not a friend of beauty, ladies. And building wealth and achieving academic success takes time. Time is not a friend of beauty, but it certainly is a friend of wealth if you got somebody who knows what's going on.
True.
Right? The correlation coefficient between money earned and finding a mate is greater for men, which means having wealth makes you more desirable, but the correlation for women is 0. Meaning the only thing likely to happen is you are less likely to want a man who doesn't make as much as you, which is almost all of the men.
Jimmy, he's not saying, from what I'm gathering, and Derek could correct me, I don't think he's saying that men are not attracted to successful women. That's not what we're saying. A man could be attracted to any woman. We're saying it doesn't matter. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? If
Your success matters not to
right.
men,
The thing about it is
right?
that from what Derek is saying is that to put it into layman's terms, you know, if a woman is a CEO or if a woman is a construction worker, if she is attractive enough to us and we see qualities in her that make us want to, you know, go after her, you know, if she has degrees, if she got paper, if she does not, she has or has not, it does not matter. The women control the dating game. Mm, I don't agree. I don't agree.
That's a question.
Um, yeah, Fergs, good night. I don't know if I agree that women control the dating game. I think that you know, it's so funny, right? It's so funny, and I don't want to talk stories out of school, but Derek and I recently had a conversation about the game of dating, the game of relationships, the game of um, you know, the whole romantic love thing, and we realized that it is a game, and the game has become stacked against us men because of where society has placed women and where women has fought to get their equality, and their equality has been conflated into there were equality of opportunity, and that has been conflated into equal opportunity, and for them saying that they are the prize. We've heard this a lot.
Equal outcomes.
Pardon me?
And equal
And equal
outcomes.
outcomes. So women are now saying that they are the prize. Men are in the dating market marginalized, in my opinion. And we're saying that the game is rigged, it's stacked against us because women today, they believe that you have to scale the castle, you have to fight all the orcs, you have to slay the dragon, you have to go fight the evil witch, save the queen, save the princess, sorry. And men, men don't care if you're a princess or a handmaiden or shoot a,
How good you
a,
look.
you understand?
How good
And
you
I
look.
think that we need to understand that women don't control the dating game. That is not how it's supposed to be, right? Because when you look at it, Jimmy, we've talked about it in this space before. Who do women want to propose to them? Who do women want to say we're in a relationship? Women want the man to do that, to provide that space and create that space. So really and truly, men control it. It's just that women have conflated equal opportunity in the workforce, in society, and everything like that to mean that they are calling the shots for themselves. So basically, they determine when you can have sex, determine when to get in a relationship, determine what this, that, next, the third. And men don't have any control or believe they don't have any control in these aspects. And what happens? You have a lot of women that are disgruntled. Why? Because the men seem to not step up, seem to be beta. You start to hear words like simping and beta male because men have been kind of indoctrinated into thinking, well, shoot, I want to date this woman, she don't want to take me on now. I gotta jump through hoops to get to this woman. I gotta jump through hoops to have sex with her. I have to jump through hoops to date her. I have to jump through hoops just to, engage her in public or in private. So um, that's not the case. The case is that, as Derek said, well early into this podcast, men control access to relationships, and that is just what it is.
Yeah, women control access to sex, and that's the challenge for men because they say that that's all we want, you know. Um, so because we are trained to get sex, the belief is because women control access to the sex, they then control the access to relationship. But we did a show a couple of weeks ago, and as Neil rightly said, most of the women in the chat, even here, they said point blank, they may asking a man to marry them. You know what I mean? So it means that we as men still control the relationship status. For example, a partner of mine recently told me about a lady she was with a man for about 3 years, then doing everything, he coming over, folding she up like laundry, doing the thing and everything cool. But then they went out, somebody asked whether they were in a relationship, And he gave a pregnant pause and then kind of ducked the question like Father Fox, you know what I mean? So something like that. And then she's asking my partner, what's the situation with the relationship and stuff like that. Girlfriend, you know what's
You
up.
know what time it is.
You know what time it is. You know spooky thing. Just admit to yourself and roll. It is what it is. As you say, he's probably a Rastafarian. I got your rotation for the roster, you know what I mean? Because she doesn't go by him. He would come there and sleep with her, that kind of stuff, but she can't go by him. It's that kind of situation. So you also gotta ask yourself, how many ladies in the chat have found themselves in a situation like that? You're dealing with somebody for years and there's nothing concrete about it. You know, you're still ducking here and ducking there. If you've ever been in that situation, ladies, drop a one in the chat for me. That'd be great. So yeah, back to my original points.
Sorry.
In terms of the controlling it's all related, so don't worry about it. In terms of controlling the relationships and stuff like that, successful men have women throwing themselves at them all the time, right? So they have the pick of the litter, right? And generally, because it's successful, sure, because there's this thinking that as an older man, younger women are not attracted to them. That is not true. Younger women like older men. They like powerful men. They like successful men, right? So I know sometimes it feels is a bitter pill to swallow to think, geez, on bread, what he could be seeing, he's a dirty old man dealing with this young girl. You know what I mean? I mean, he's be cool with it. On the flip side, I be talking about cougars, you know what I mean? And they even got a cool term for it. You're a cougar if you're an old girl and you got a young fella. But if he's an old fella with a young girl, oh, he's a nasty old man.
We coming
old
here.
pervert. Yeah. So men still control that access. Men have no problem dating them, right? No problem dating them. As a matter of fact, it is odd that even as women claim, because we said it on the show before, I think very early in the days, women date on their level and up. Men, we're just looking to get something. Yes. And as I said before, you know, ejaculation is like urination for men. If you gotta go, you gotta go. Sometimes you prefer to go inside a fancy bathroom. Sometimes you gotta go in the bush.
But we going.
You know what I mean? So maybe they up, they down, crossway. It don't make a difference to men. How good you look, you know? And again, your sexual market, your degree, your educational advancement, your financial advancement have no bearing on your sexual marketplace value. It doesn't matter. As long as you look good enough and you cool, the man can hang with you and you don't feel like, oh my
Stress
God.
And drama, worries and problems.
I want to stab myself with a spoon. As long as the man can hang with you, he cool. Yep. You know, but from the time it get a little antagonistic and, you know, men about that strife.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Men battling you.
Yeah. Especially men on a particular level. And it's not that the men can't handle you. You know, we like to throw that statement out there. Oh, he can't handle a strong woman like me, and I a woman hear me roar. Yeah, just think of the energy, not the inclination. No. Because why fight with you at 35, 40, 45, 50? Why fight with you or argue with you when he can just check a 20-year-old or 22-year-old, 25-year-old that, you know,
you kind of know the score.
A little bit more flexible, a little younger, a little everything, you know, gravity has not quite yet set in. And, you know, you make it work. So you got to look at yourself and you ask yourself, what are you bringing to the table? And I was making the point, Neil, that even as women claim the academic, they improve the academic qualifications, they improve the professional qualifications, they climb the corporate ladder and stuff like that. They're still looking to data.
Mm-hmm.
They're still looking to data. They're still looking for somebody that can provide, somebody that is going to be able to say, I got you, I got it covered. So that is just the nature of what we're dealing with as men and women. That's just the nature of the men and woman, the man woman dynamic. And to fight that, we're trying to fight human evolution or biology. That's just how we do it. You know, I know I haven't been able to look in the chat because I'm kind of reading my notes here, but I know some people will be in the chat saying, you know, my Derek talking bear jump, and probably arguing with some of the points I made. But I'll put it to you this way: Jay-Z without the money is what? Think he got Beyonce?
Hell no.
If Beyonce leaves Jay-Z, think she coming to me or you?
Hell no.
Or any of the men in the chat, not to speak for any of the pockets, any of the men in the
And
chat.
let's go on the flip side. If Jay-Z and Beyonce break out, Jay-Z back out on it with his billions of dollars,
he could probably get Beyonce's sister.
it don't matter. But the thing is, it don't matter. The point is, he can get any young woman wants to look wants to strike his fancy. You know what I mean? It may be prudent for him to go into business with a woman that has her own, or a matter of fact, it don't even matter because for him, because when you're talking in that stratosphere, you're dating a woman that got your type of money. You know, you're in a fraction of the 1%. So,
Yep. So, and then people wonder why it is that they stay together, but who's she gonna get to?
Yeah.
Who's she gonna date? When she leaves him, how is she gonna? I mean, she's saying some upgrade. Who is she going to upgrade to? I mean, Bill Single knows she could give Bill a call or Jeff, but I don't know. So that's just what we're dealing with. That's just the reality. There are no ugly millionaires.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's Jay-Z again. You know. So yeah, tell me what ignorance we talking about tonight?
Oddly enough, well, you could read the comments. I see them moving. I missed some, so I can start with Nick. We can go back up. I've heard that many women with certain levels of academic qualifications cannot find an equal because the thing is about the women that have a certain level of qualification and find an equal is that you can find your equal. It's just that think about as you go higher and higher on the economic scale and on the academic scale, your percentage and dating pool gets smaller and smaller and smaller. It's just like if you are a doctor, there are many black doctors both here in the Caribbean. And if they're already spoken for or already doing what they're doing. Point is that you have a better chance of seeking somebody outside of being a doctor. You know what I mean? If you are an architect, if you are a creative, whatever your chosen field is, if you got your master's, your MBA, and you're trying to find somebody on that same level, you know, it's going to be a challenge because there are many men walking about with MBAs, or rather, let me say, there are more men without MBAs walking around than men with MBAs. So you will have to adjust what you are looking for. Like us men, if we keep looking for a woman on our level, we know that the pool is going to get smaller and smaller. So that's.
But here's the thing. What was because
I see Dion. They turned it. No. It's insulting. Okay. Oh wow, Dion.
People like what they like. If it want to get looking at a man who can carry a conversation, that's what I look for. It won't be excited about someone who can't do that, but that doesn't mean dating down. That means they have preferences.
If I want a good looking
man, I agree with you, Dion. I do agree with you, and I actually said that to Neil and the other guys I was talking. The fact that it is looked on and looked or viewed as dating down is a pejorative statement already, and as such, it shows you're not approaching the situation in good faith, so you can't really benefit from it. Excuse me, you know. So it's going to be. I agree. The term is insulting, but yeah, and you said it. You like people like what they like.
People like what they like.
But I want you to appreciate that goes both ways. When you say people like what they like, women like what they like, men like what they like,
And yeah.
right? And if a man says, I like women that are 5'4", I like women that are slim, I like women who are very good looking, you know, I like women that are 25 years old. It is what it is. That's his preference, right? And here's the thing: a lot of men are going to be attracted to the way just described. So,
No,
what are you gonna do?
no. Sorry, Derek. Tanisha Cross is in the building. Good night, Cross. Hope everything is well. Hope family is well. Dion and Cross. Okay, so let me. The term dating down implies that some humans are better than others based on looks, intelligence, wealth, whatever. No, but you know what? Society deems that your success is based upon your looks, your intelligence, and your wealth. I, I obviously don't think that, because I look a sort of way, I am better than a man that does not have, or if a man that has more than me, I don't think he is better than me. But society does that. Society measures people based on their successes and failures, particularly men. So therefore, and I understand that women in this chat, again, when we say women who the cap fits, we are realizing that the women in here, well, I know Dion for a long time, so I understand why she would take um, exception with what we are saying. But the truth of the matter is that long and short, people, the average person is guided by what society says. Dion, you may not have a problem dating a man that has no degrees. Once the man is intelligent, ambitious, and can carry himself in a manner that reflects who you are and what you're about, then yes, I understand for you. It doesn't matter where he is from or what he has or does not have in his bank account or his educational repertoire. The point is that women generally, by and large, it is important to them to have a man that can provide on their level or more. Yes, I know there are exceptions to the rule, and I know that this is not a hard and fast thing, but you will be very surprised to know the amount of women out there that quite literally would say, yeah, I like you,
He's a nice fella and
nice
all.
fella and all, but I trying to build a certain sort of thing. I looking to build my house in the next 2 years, 3 years, and I want a partner to kind of, reflect that and help me with my finances or whatever. And that is based on society. That is based on
That's all real pretty, Neil. But really and truly, what they would say is, I looking for somebody up on my level.
exactly.
Some people say that point
And
blank.
and this is the thing. The thing is, to Cross to Dion, we see this on social media every day. The memes. Men are not on my level. You need to get on my level. I dare only dating people. If you're below my level, don't get my DMs. Why these men that are not on my level? Like you see it daily, where a man who got a gold cap, got a vest, come in. Yeah, madam, I think you look good or whatever, whatever. Very respectful. He ain't gonna get a second look. Why? Because he does not fit what the person likes. However, the man may not have any degrees or anything. The man might be a small business owner. The man might be very successful in what he does. The man might be very content in himself and secure in himself and confident in himself as being a man and leading a household. Granted, you're making what? Thousands of dollars more than him any month come. But the point is, my man in am I just doing his thing? But for most women, in my opinion, especially walking around here in Barbados, it matters what they have in terms of success. Success is measured by money, by academics, by certain things that not everyone is successful at. You know what I mean? Like Darren and I are saying down here, right? We are not the wealthiest men. We are not the most creative men. We are not by any means the most educated men out there. But we would be attractive to some women because we look a sort of way, we carry ourselves a sort of way, we speak a sort of way, we are very intelligent and we are very ambitious. And we could crack a joke. You know what I mean? We like a little mock sport, right? We are very easy to get along with. But for some women, and we have both heard this as men, yeah, I need a man to, provide financially. And, while you share and you're vulnerable and emotion and jokes and intelligence or whatever, You gotta get your money up. That's just how society has painted us. That's just how society has painted us. These things matter.
Justin is making the point. Are we going to pretend that there's no such thing as viability? As insulting as it sounds, people align themselves with what they consider to be quality.
Mhm.
For men, it may be based on sexuality and looks, and to women, in most cases, it's about success and status.
That's
I
facts.
see Nicholas in the
Yeah, good
house.
night, Nick.
Welcome, Nicholas. Good to see
Yeah.
you again,
Yeah.
buddy. Yeah, Cross saying you're saying society measures people like that. Okay. But if we're talking about what you or I want in a relationship, we can choose to use those shallow measures, or are we going to focus on what we as individuals prefer in a human being? I will tell you, society was not even a consideration when I started really thinking about what I wanted in a partner and how it would complement what I had to offer. I'm not trying to marry
No
society.
cross.
That sounds
But
really
cross,
nice.
you see, and I can say this to you, and I can say this to Dion. I agree. We are both of similar ilk. We think the same. For us, we are not we are not bogged down by what society thinks. We are measured in our thoughts and our choices, right? We are not talking about me. We're not talking about you. We're talking about society at large. Ergo, men and women, right? And while for me personally, I just want somebody that look good and bring peace of mind. I'm a very, very simple man. You gotta carry a conversation. I can't feel like I raking nails on a chalkboard when they talking about world events. You gotta crack a joke. I ain't say you gotta have my sense of humor, but good here. You can't be vexed all the time. You have to have a certain level of intelligence, but it ain't a deal breaker. Like it's not like I say you have to. I dating a boy that I only dating people that only went common mirror up. Like I've dated people from whatever school they went to, right? Because I understand that because you went to a certain school, because you grew up in a certain neighborhood, because you don't have certain means or certain resources to you. I understand that that does not that is not an indication of who you are as a person and what intelligence you have and ambition you have. But we're not talking about us. We're not talking about people that are measured. We're not talking about people that are self-aware. We're not people that have thought about these things and understand what it is. There are a lot of people still kind of trapped in the thought process of society and what they want. I mean, social media, everybody want to look like they're having a good time. Some people want to drink long neck. Some people want to be on a boat race. Some people want to be on a pool. Somebody want to be on the beach every day. The point is that that is what success looks like for some people, that you having a great time. You never have a bad time. As a matter of fact, for you to acknowledge having a bad time on social media is beneath you. And anybody who shows a bad side of themselves on social media or goes out their house looking popped down, that is beneath them. We are not talking about us in this chat. Again, I want us to keep remembering when we speak in these generalities, when we speak about men, when we speak about women, we are speaking about whom the cat fits because it doesn't fit us. We understand. If we didn't understand, we would not have started this space and have these conversations, and you people would not be here. And we actually want more people that are not like minded like us to come to understand what they are using as basis to choose partners is not successful. There got a lot of women out there, right? That got men that ain't no good, not good providers, not good men or anything like that. But you know why they got together with them? They look good, they got big goal, and they always got money in the pocket. You understand? When you start to get into a relationship with the person, you start to realize, well, how this person getting this money? What is this person doing to get this money? What has he done to get this goal? What is he doing? What are his ambitions? Yes, you may be this today, and you may be making a certain level of money, but is this what you want to be for the rest of your life? And if this is what you want to be for the rest of your life, am I comfortable with it? Your job is not to change your partner, You can encourage your partner. Forgive my fan, man. My fan, people keep telling me WD-40, but I can soon train you definitely by anyone. Anyhow, but yeah, I want us to let us understand that when we talk about dating down, when we talk about certain terms and certain things, we are not speaking to people in this chat. I know Dion for many, 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 many years. And I know Dion is not a person I would hope. Well, I know. She's not a person that would date someone because of status. She would not date someone because of money. She would not date someone that has the biggest and brightest education. That is not her. I don't know Tanisha. And from judging from these conversations, you hear she's the same way. So we are not speaking about me and you. Yeah, we're speaking of men at large. We're speaking to women at large, and we're not speaking out to the other side of the wormholes, or we're not speaking without any sort of research or understanding. We hear this every day, whether in person or on social media, every day,
And see it every day, Neil.
every day.
Shout out to Blair. I see Kevin
Blair,
has joined us.
Katin was
Katil,
good.
Hail people. Yeah, because saying we telling the man not to go after what he wants. Some guys are persistent. That's true. You see Jason in the house. Welcome,
Snow.
Snow. Hail. Uh, Jennifer makes the point. I think it comes down to how you are raised.
It always comes down to how you're
Not
raised.
necessarily. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Because there's still a certain ceiling, sorry, a certain floor, a certain flooring that people will not go past. That is just reality. Dion says, and if you agree with what we are saying, and the object of this podcast is to be better to each other, to each one, teach one, and bring your friends up. We can't accept the status quo and say this is how it is and throw up your hand, because then this is an echo chamber and a waste of time. No. Here's the thing, Dion. We also cannot pretend that the status quo is not what it is.
Exactly. We're not saying
It is
we're
what
not
it
saying
is.
it's right or
We
wrong.
cannot say that is right or wrong. We're not saying that. We're saying this is what the situation is. Yes, idealistic. Thank you, Justin. That's the word I was looking for. We cannot be idealistic and pretend that a status quo does not exist. We know it exists, and as such, this is how we are going to operate.
That's the thing. How do you
This is how do you improve the results you are getting within your life based on what the status quo is? Because guess what? People ain't changing, you know.
nah.
These things have existed, these
Time
terms have
immemorial.
existed since Lord knows how long. There's a reason that marriage was a situation where a man had to turn up with his dowry and bring three goats and 2 sheep. Because he had to prove to that particular father-in-law that yeah, it could provide. Right? And if he provided 3 goats and 2 sheep, and a man come along and he could promise acres of land plus the goats and sheep and some cows, guess what?
Clear.
You sweet girl, you might like he, but this man got more to offer, and
It's
as
not
such,
about love.
it ain't about love.
What does love have to do with it?
What does love have to do with it? This is what we're providing for, right? He can provide for you. This is what we're gonna deal with, because it's going to put the 2 families on better footing. Well, it's going to bring up one set of family, right? So it's all right to say, yeah, we want to improve everybody and stuff like that, and try to shatter the status quo, but the status quo exists.
It's like the way I liken it is like if you want to catch the boogeyman, you gotta show people what you look like. You understand what I'm saying? Like if you want to if there's a person out there doing bad things, and you want to catch this person, you want to know who this person looks like and what it is. We're saying simply that this is what it is. No.
Here's the thing, Neil, right? Here's the thing. We have to understand to whom we are selling our products, right? Women, you are selling your products to men. And as such, you need to understand what it is men want to buy. It makes no sense saying, this is my product and this is what it's selling, whether men buying it or not. You will keep your product on the shelf. You will keep your product on the shelf. I don't want that for y'all. I want everybody to be able to find somebody and be happy. You know
Get married.
So, you know, so we can't pretend that the status quo does not exist and that it isn't what it is. The status quo is what it is. Good. We know what it is. And now, because we know the rules of the game, we can play. You can't play if you don't know the rules of the game. For example, they had a little man this evening. He get him on 4 steps and then bounce. But that's traveling, big man. You can't do that. Because he understand. And he was a handicap to his team. So if you want to play the game, you got to know the rules. If you're trying to sell a product, you're trying to sell yourself, or you're trying to get your girlfriends to sell themselves to somebody, You gotta know the rules so you can help your girlfriends. Men, same thing for you. You know, shoot. If I'm a little bit more portly, women ain't looking at me that kind of way. So, and as such, I need to get some muscles. I need to gain gym, slim down, whatever. If I break, my options limited. Again, if I want to improve my options, I got up my money. This is just what it is. And pretending that it is not what it is and trying to disregard the status quo makes no sense to me.
I want you to read Dion, read some comments because Dion said something. It gone from my screen now, but there's some things I want to mention. You know, I understand Dion. Don't get me wrong. You know, Dion and Tanisha. I understand where you guys are coming from. I understand. Sadly, we are a minority in today's age in the Western world, and it is a ideology that seems to be almost a fantasy in some men's eyes. Um, you Dion made a mention of that who women are and where they have come from, and men haven't changed. That there's a chasm. It's not that men haven't changed, right?
Let me read through these
Read
comments.
through because I can't remember. I want to mention.
So you don't misquote her, right? Latoya Arthur, welcome. Can't remember ever seeing this name, so
Hi,
welcome.
Latoya.
Some people may want to choose a partner that isn't up to their level, but don't want to have that person by their side because it doesn't look good for social media. Point blank. I know a girl who said she was talking to a man, everything was cool. She found out he was a postman. He immediately cut off. Immediately.
Damn.
Naka says, oftentimes, though, you see men dating women well below their social and academic status. Oftentimes, they don't opt to be with a woman who, for a lack of a better term, answer back or challenge him. Yeah. 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 I ain't even arguing that point. Yeah. The man just wants some. I ain't need the arguing. I ain't need the combative. I ain't need
Yeah,
it.
we ain't fighting.
Yeah, you don't need it. I can just find somebody that here to look pretty and go on. You know what I mean? Trophy wife has been a term for ages. Nicholas says society plays a big part of it. Yes, it's true. Justin, if we want to be idealistic and wish for a sweeping paradigm shift, then we can embrace these nice sentiments, but we are talking about the real world, where survival is subconscious, and at the end of the day, that instinct will guide most people accordingly. Women are taught from an early age that men should provide, and financial security is paramount. Men are taught to go after the most attractive. It's a part of your status and adds to your value.
Mhm.
These are the nuances that exist. Facts. Rian, welcome.
Good night,
to see you as
Rian.
always. Nika says she didn't get any message. I see, right? Okay, beyond the saying, I acknowledge it exists. But here's the thing: women are and have changed since dowry times, and if men haven't, there is a chasm that ain't gonna get crossed. Yeah, and you started to address
right. So women have changed, but
the concept, while it is no modernized, it is still the same.
no, and that's and
men still gotta show because we hear every day.
there's not dowry,
especially in this sphere.
There's no dowry.
We hear every day. What is asked? What are you bringing to the what?
Table.
To the table.
I never hear a man ask that yet. I like legitimately.
But here's the thing, Neil. They're asking it. No.
Yeah.
Men are starting to ask it no, because it's a case of like, well, you asking me what you bringing to the table. For instance, Patrice O'Neal, God rest him. Patrice O'Neal did a stand-up across in front of me.
You stand-up boss boy.
Only yesterday, passed in front of me. During the stand-up, Patrice O'Neal asked, ladies, if there was a case of you got into an accident and you had to remove your vagina, you had to take up your lady bits because you're in a horrible accident, the only way to save your life is remove your lady bits, right? How would you keep your man past, let's say, the 2 months grace period of, well, shoot, this horrible thing happened and I really can't bail? No.
Yeah, you said you put it in the chat. Yeah.
How would you keep your man?
That was funny.
And
True, but funny.
A lot of the ladies in the audience, they said, you got other available orifices, the back door, some thought about using the mouth. And his response to that was, well, imagine it gave the ladies an opportunity to speak and, kind of say what they bring to the table, and they all reduce themselves to holes. I found that particularly hilarious and interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
But before you go on, let me, because I agree with what you said to Dion's point. I just want to add that we have to look at women have changed, yes, but we have to look at women have changed, society has changed for women, and men have remained the same in some regard. Now, the reason for that is, as we know, 50, 60, 70 years, 100 years ago, women were in a place where they had no rights. And they had to make a push for equal rights in the society. More power to y'all. I literally am glad and grateful. As a son of a woman that is the strongest woman I know, I really am grateful for that. Some women over the generations have conflated that now into saying we can do what men can do. We are equal to men. And while going down that thought process, it has now ballooned up into people getting on my level, people having to provide. And this can tie into Tanisha's point too. Yeah, the inner dowry. Yes, it is not that time anymore. It's not in that, we're not in that space. But essentially, it's the same thing. We ain't bringing sheep to your father, but you asking us if you could provide a sheep, meaning, we don't obviously take sheep and sell livestock or whatever, meat or anything like that.
whatever is the proverb, the sheep of the day.
Exactly. Right? So men have not changed that women have, but let's not say that women changing and men not changing, there is a chasm. I think that women like yourselves understand why the change happened and understand what you got from the change or what you wanted for the change. It does not impact how you see men and how you see relationships. Right? Granted, you may be a bit more independent. You're thinking that, say, your female ancestors, but the point is that you understand that a measure of a man, a measure of a partner, is not wrapped up in what he can bring financially. It's not about what he can provide. It's not about his dowry. Y'all are in the minority in this day and age. That's the sad reality. So it's not that y'all have changed or we have not, and there's a great divide. The point is understanding that y'all have changed to kind of catch up with men in terms of equality in the workspace and in society and everything like that. But then it's not to conflate that to who you are as a woman, who you are as a man. You understand? Men know who they are, hard or soft. Granted, we got some things to change. Granted, we know that we are not where we need to be in certain regards. But that's something we're working out amongst ourselves. I am seeing the shift within the men. But women are still, literally, I sure there is post one every day about a woman not needing a man or a woman, um, what does a man bring or whatever. You see it, it is so pervasive. And that's the point. The point is that we create this space to, yes, this is the game now. Yeah, as a man, as a woman, this is the game. However, this don't mean it right or wrong. This is just what it is. If you want it to change, we can have a further discussion, and that's what we do.
Yeah, Justin is saying we learn sooner or later that work-life balance makes or breaks a relationship. Many persons in demanding, high-paying jobs suck at managing that and are in most cases not the best partners. When you find someone who prioritizes you beyond their career, who respects you and who appreciates you, you begin to understand what the important qualities are in a person are. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cross, let's not conflate other societies' way of dealing with marriages, dowries, etc. Entirely different constructs to what we have going on here in this region. I get the comparison you're trying to make, but there are too many nuances that are getting passed by for it to be a fair analogy. The point is, you get what I'm trying to say. You get exactly, and I think everybody else gets what I'm trying to say. So Keitha asked the question, how many women in here were taught that men are to provide financially? And I am confident, yes, there it is, a whole string of, I wasn't, yeah, sounds about right. Looks about right. Here's the thing, ladies, because all of the ladies I see saying that, yeah, you all got it for yourselves in that on some level, right? So that's not surprising. But Ask the men if because I think it's Justin that posted that. Ask the men if Justin learned. That's what you gotta ask. I don't think Justin is misinformed at
Mhm.
all. Kevin Singy said, I'm glad for the old people like my granny. She said, Kevin, if you raise cows or sheep, the money don't smell like none of the two. It smell like money. Amen.
Shit.
Amen. Cross says, be able to look after yourself. If the man can and wants to look after you, then sweet. But if it doesn't work out, you're good. Yeah, yeah. But the question always comes, what are you bringing to the table? I saw Wendy Williams. Yeah. Again, one of these things that passed in front of me. I ended up seeing Wendy Williams, and this lady was making the point that she only dates rich men. And she's a marketing exec for something or the other like that. And she's on the show saying, when she was asked, what do you bring to the table? That was literally the question. What do you bring to the table? And she said, I am the table. Pray. I was like, what? But to Wendy's credit, she did not accept that as a response. And she said she wanted an actual mature response. And the lady said, well, shoot, she is this list of stuff, qualification, professional qualifications and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's like, so what? As she was saying, she only dates rich men.
Oh, I love it.
She only dates rich men. Yeah, so oh, Kevin is saying, what can you do for me? I hear it a lot. So there are different versions of it. What can you do for me? And I really would like us to stop. I get that you all want to, or would like to think that people have the best intentions, or you want to have you look at people with the best in the best of lights. But it is what it is. Nick asks, what kind of women are you approaching? Yeah, they are out there.
And they're not
They
hard to
are out
find.
there. And they are not hard to find. And here's the thing. Y'all ladies may be moving on a different level, but they got the, as Mad was saying back in the day, doctor, lawyer, bank manager, women who are still looking for and asking men, what are you bringing to the table? Or as Kevin said, what you could do for me? There's a reason that these things are related in song. Captain Sawyer, something for something, that kind of thing, kind of songs. Back in the day, what have you done for me lately? Bum, 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 bum.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. And that was a whole set of money. She met with our song. Shoot, I had another one. Ain't nothing going on but the rent. Got to have a J-O-B if you wanna be with me. Shoot, TLC. I don't want no scrubs. Scrub is a guy who can't get no love from me. And then they put him in bankruptcy. So this stuff, legit, it exists. It is what it is. And I mean, sure, you could pretend it doesn't, or you could try to,
I don't think
we just
I don't
gave the rules to the
I don't even
game.
think that they're pretending that it doesn't happen. I think they're kind of, because what I am gathering here is that, and that's why I want more people to come to this podcast. I want it to be diversion, because at the end of the day, people that are in here have like-minded friends. They have like-minded circles. You understand what I mean? And they don't have these thought processes, or people around them that have these thought processes, or not that many people. So they're in the minority, if at all, whenever they're confronted with it. And it's fine, yo. Um, and you know, I don't think they're pretending that it doesn't exist. I think, because I'm reading ahead some of the comments, and I think some women are generally confused by what is being said here. Like, I can let you read some of the comments, and I can touch them as they go.
Yeah, across the same Neil, you're not dating men, so you wouldn't have heard a man say so. But here's
We
the
hear
thing:
man,
you would
we hear
hear
man talk about what.
we talk to men every
Yeah,
day. So we would hear. Justin makes the point: women have changed, but not all expectations. And this is where the issue comes. Yes, it is. Um, that's what's funny. People think it's only one type of female that asks that, but I just said it. women across the board, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and Keith is saying the ones that don't watch this podcast. Justin, we can't measure society based on the actions or thought processes of the minority. Fact. Dion, has anyone asked why so many of these women have this mentality? What caused it?
You know, when we do though, because we have not in great numbers. I don't want it to make it seem that we out there having a poll of hundreds of women, but when we do, they're very deflective. They're very standoffish. They kind of make it a joke, play off. They don't be like. It's very hard to get an answer, like to really sit down, and look at a woman through in her eyes and say,
But Neil, but understand what I just went through why that mentality is so pervasive. Because Janet Jackson, what have you done for me lately is the 90s. Nothing going on, but the rain is the 80s. No scrubs is the 90s. So coming all the way through the 2000s, late 90s, mid 90s. So coming all through, our media has said to us, yeah, find a man that can provide. A man, and as a matter of fact, not only find a man that can provide, a man that can't provide ain't worth much. That and that's what we've been told. Not just women, the entire society. So that's why some men you will see chasing money like crazy. I know a old fella that he is deal with a chick and his time to come around is wrong the end of the month. Right? Nothing going on but you're right. You know what I mean? And he's happy to do that. Justin says it must be the patriarchy. That's why the women have that man.
I see you, Justin, trying to trigger.
I see you. Natalia, good to see you as always. I saw you come in earlier. One hand can clap. Yeah, so even before the very first podcast. Yeah. Keith is saying somebody who's deflecting. Not me.
No. Wendy Williams, the Wendy Williams thing. The woman that was on Wendy Williams, she was deflecting.
Oh, okay. Dion said 90% of the women who post about not needing a man, etc., will post about wanting 1 4 hours later. So they have other issues.
I love that comment.
But here's the thing, Dion. When you see anything, you should call it out. Call it out. Call it out for what it is. Bullshit. Call it out. Because those are the same women who will front like that and then come and, as you say, post something else completely different 4 hours later.
But gassing up when they say they don't need a man. They want my man.
And encouraging other women to follow that kind of ignorant mentality. It sounds real good now when you got your career, and I said this before. It sounds real good. You got your career and everything working for you and everything good. But when you retire, you hit that and you got another 15, 20 years to live. I don't want you to be
all alone, but her alone so sad.
Oh, love it. Want that for you. Don't want that for you. Rian says, but you ain't bring nothing to the table. Many women make more money than their spouses. Is a woman supposed to support him financially? Aren't both people supposed to contribute? I am lost.
No, hold on. Rian, hold on. What you bring to the table, when women ask that question, right? I don't even think, okay, if a woman gets together with a man, we'll say, look, I like you, whatever, what do you bring to the table? Okay? It's almost like the man has to say, I do this, I do that. I've even heard some women ask, what are your future plans for yourself? Where do you see yourself? Like, literally ask questions like it's a job interview. This goes past this is not about you making more money and supporting a household and what the man bringing to the table. The man might be working really hard at what he does. He's just probably not at the same place you are in life, or maybe he's not on that life path at all. We made the analogy of a plumber or a mechanic. These guys making good money, but they got a doctor for a wife. Obviously you're making doctor money. However, the same question of what do you bring to the table has nothing to do with you providing for a household as the chief breadwinner. It has nothing to do with saying the man on the couch line don't doing nothing and you providing and doing all of this. That is not it. Because at the end of the day, there are women that look down on men based on where they are and what they have. So it is not, oh, you ain't doing nothing. When I ask what you bring to the table, I want to know if you got a job. I want to know if you are career oriented. I want to know if you could provide for yourself. Basically, some women ask that because they want to know what in it for me, what you could do for me. You understand what I mean? Because, for example, in a situation where you make more than your partner, and your partner may be hardworking, dedicated, committed to whatever he decides to do in his life, and he may be making a certain level of money. You, on the other hand, have your degrees, you have your masters, whatever you have, you're making much more money than him. So when it comes time to pooling resources when the month comes, there may be some instances, maybe that's just how it's set up, where you provide more simply because you provide more. You make more into like providing and securing the house or anything like that. Some women will look at that and say, no, I want it to be 50-50 or the man put more. And I understand it is a hard concept for y'all to understand, but there are women out there that believe that way. A man gonna make more than me. So if you today you're a cashier, tomorrow you're a doctor, the man got to be one step ahead of you every time. That's just, there are some women that think like that, and it's unfortunate. We're not talking about the situations where you ask, what do you bring to the table? Understanding, okay, you bring money, you bring stability, I bring money, I bring stability. There are some women that quantify it, and it becomes a competition. Okay, he makes less than me, nah, this ain't a workout. Derek made the analogy of the postman, sorry. So, yep.
Tonya says, so let's ask a question. If a woman is at a point where she knows she has particular financial goals and met a man at a different point who doesn't have his stuff together financially and says to this man, we are at different points and I need a man who is at the same point in life as I am, is she wrong? I just got here, so just asking. She's not wrong. Dion made the point earlier. You like what you like. You're not wrong. Here's the challenge. If you pass up this guy, can you get the guy who, as you're saying, has got his stuff together financially and stuff like that? Because a man that has his stuff together financially and stuff like that, remember, he said he talked you short. These men got options. These men have options.
I guarantee.
So if you want to deal with those guys on that level, you got to be prepared to compete. What are you prepared to do to compete? That's the question you got to ask. Just in response to that, it says, but is that her only requirement for a suitable mate? Is that leading her parameters? Will that determine the success of the relationship? These are the real questions. Dion says, let's not go down the road about music because men have been singing about how much sex they want, all the things they want us to do, all the backflipping and toenail and lover, but you both have said y'all don't need all of that. But here's the thing, that's been pretty consistent. You know what I mean? That message hasn't changed for men. You know, men have always sung about sex. It's always been that, you know. And that stuff has not been championed as much as, because those songs are anthems through the decades for women. They are. The stuff that men sing about in terms, I guess it's all white noise, no, because all of it is kind of molded into one. You know what I mean? It's the same thing all over again. But yeah, time in memoriam has been that. Which is for love you say it. Okay, Cross says it's hilarious when y'all use it as examples. Music expresses a lived experience at the time, including young or broken in love. Many of those same artists have been in long-term relationships. Destiny Shell sang Bills, Bills, Bills. Then turn around and say cater to you. You live, you learn, and you grow. And here's the thing. It's funny you mentioned cater to you because the feminists want to get out there deal with too.
I just saying,
they were not pleased with that song.
And when you talk to the Beehive, them ain't listen cater to you as them one of them top 10 songs. I just saying. When you talk to like as much as, because Beyonce has music that I find is very, speaks to love, speaks to exactly the idea that I have, But then she's gone this thing. She has a song called Flaws and All. You accept me, flaws and all. Nice song, beautiful song, right? Halo, nice song, beautiful song. But then there are songs where she talks about bills, no bills. If you like it, you should have put a ring on it. All of these other songs that women take on. And I guarantee you, the majority of women that listen to this, if you like it, you should have put a ring on it. Them ain't dealing with that. Got 3 and 4 children, they ain't married once. So it's just that the example of music, right? Music is about experiences. It's about what you've lived, what you learned. Movies, same thing, right? And yes, we men sing about sex. Tip on your toe, meet Ray around the back, Jim screech. Oh no, that's a woman. But yeah, we say, I'm just saying, right? If you look at it, women sing these songs too. Men have never sung anything saying you gotta get with me. I mean, granted, my man says it's a man's world. Oh my God, James Brown said it says a man's world, right? So I'm saying we can pick and choose.
But it ain't nothing without a woman.
Right? We can look and pick and choose what we want from music. Music is very subjective. It is an expression. However, I think the point that Derek is trying to make is that a lot of these songs have become mainstream anthems and cries for women to live their life by that code of that song. Right? In the last 20 years, for sure, a lot of songs have come up where I remember No Scrubs. Thank God I had a license on a car. But anybody that was in the passenger seat in my car, anybody that was in the passenger seat in my car got it in spades. You understand? And it was just one of those things where a lot of women perpetuate these things. As much as men talking about sex and this and that and the next and the third, I don't necessarily find that men listening to, oh Lord, who do you think is Vybz Kartel biggest fans base? I don't as well. Like women love to tip on your toe and TikTok and all of this and all of that and twerking and stuff like that. And the thing about it is, you don't hear men out there. Yes, we may sing sexually explicit songs and we may even boil it down to objectifying women. Obviously, that's not right. Women buy into that and feed into that and say they like them sort of songs. But that's another talk for another time. But the point I'm trying to make is that when women sing these songs about independence, right? I shouldn't even say independence because it paints a light where certain men are beneath them. Women literally take on that MO, that message, right? And they move through life with it. Because watch, as much as you're saying about music and men, these songs are singing about back flipping and, back flip through a Fruit Loop or something. So, they got all these sexually explicit songs sung by men. Man, yeah, cool. We like that as that same energy or whatever, but we ain't going out there and perpetuating that. We ain't going out hard and fast. We are not en masse going on out there and demanding that a woman 630 or a backflip or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's not
that is not pervasive for us. You understand? However, there are songs that from that women have sung that have become anthems and women take it on. Literally, there are cashiers out here that don't want a man that is a plumber. Don't want a man that is a mechanic. Legitimately, there are women that look good, have menial jobs, but don't want a man that is making more than them, but in a job that does not have status. Because they're bought into that. And it's not only about music, because a few weeks ago, we had the Trojan rhythm. And a lot of people were saying, oh, the music is linked to gun violence and stuff like that. And the thing about these songs that are going against, the reason why people disagree with the gun anthem thing, the Trojan rhythm thing is because they're not anthems. They're not mainstream. Right? We like you had to go and seek out the Trojan rhythm to listen to that sort of music. Shoot, the majority of people don't listen to that kind of music. That's my kind of music, but I'm in the minority. When Beyonce come up with a one of them songs or who? Adele or something like that, that is mainstream. You understand? So music is one of those things that's an expression, but people like things to rally behind. When women come with certain things. And I found it so funny that some of Beyonce's songs are so empowering to women and women take as independent or whatever. But then when you look at Beyonce and her situation, I mean, so you gotta look at the messages too when you hear this music.
Yeah, Erica is in the chat. Erica says in the past, many provided financial support, and although they may fall short in other areas like emotional support, help around the house, etc., it was accepted. At least they were good providers. When some women are financially independent, men got to step up in the other areas. Mind you, women expected to work and contribute to household income, but still expected to fulfill the traditional role of homemaker. Yeah. What has happened there is that, and again, I said it earlier tonight, women got it for themselves now. So they don't need a man to get it for them. You've gotten it out of the mud on your own. You don't need a man to do that for you now. And that's
But then
fine.
what you need a man for?
Exactly. And a lot of men, especially if they feel that vibe, like, yeah, I got it like that. They don't really need you for anything. You know what you could do for me, as Kevin said. I fella would just find somebody because the man still won't feel like, if you know, like, yeah, I am
Shoot, if a man
of some serving
if
some
the man
purpose.
providing $1 to your $1,000, the man still won't feel like, shoot, I providing something.
My dollar worth it, you know. So that's what
And then real quick, there a lot of women expect, because you've been ambitious in your life path, led you to be a career woman, have your education, your doctorate, whatever you have. Not every man. Whoa, Crystal, what's going on, girl? Not everybody is on that path. Some people, some men, literally feel good working with their hands, making their money with things that are simple, things they can understand. You understand? So, but then a woman would expect, again, who the cat fits. A woman would then expect the man, well, shoot, you can be a mechanic all your life. Why you don't start a business? Why you don't get a storefront? Why you don't get other mechanics? Why you don't do this? And the man might say, look, I just...
There's also the perception, Neil, that I can't take you as you say, mechanic. Not to be disparaging to the mechanics in the house, but I can't take you as a mechanic to my corporate function or whatever, because there may be a bit of a disconnect in terms of academic qualification, professional qualification, the nuances required to handle yourself within a social setting. So that these are real situations, right? Nick is saying so many women would help to build this man up, and then he leaves for the woman well below his newfound status. So she works for the work, she stays for the work and another enjoys the skills. That happens. Can't deny it. It happens. But you gotta ask yourself why. Erica says, I don't need a man, but I want one. And that is, just said that like 2 minutes ago. Cross. Y'all talk to men regularly, so you know what they say. I'm pretty certain the men who 1 minute were crying snot bubbles to their ex were not relaying the story the same way to their men. Speaking from experience.
Facts. That's just something. I am learning that's just... Everybody guilty of that. Everybody is convey the experience from a space.
Everybody want to be the hero in their own story, you know. Kevin, some actually do, but those are strong men or men that have reached a state of maturity depending on the wisdom they collected. Correct. Cross, another thought, you want it to be okay for you liking what you like, look good, slim fit, etc. But we're questioning women having preferences for a certain level of money and career. If you don't like the interview process, dude, those women just ain't for you. And here's the thing, Cross. We appreciate that. We understand that. We get it. We get it. Women like what they like. That's what we've been saying from jump. Women like what they like. We get it. We understand it and appreciate it. Show. That's why we started from the very first show. I told the men, get yourself in order.
Yourself together.
So that when you go to holler at a chick, you are on a certain level and you improve your odds of being selected. Because we as men, we understand we gotta compete. But recognize, ladies, you got to compete too. That's all we're saying. That's all we're saying. You see, Steve in the house, Steve is saying ego aside. What's wrong with the woman supporting the household if she makes more? I thought teamwork makes the dream work, but that's only nice to say when the man is in the supporting role. Is it a case of women thinking what's yours is mine and what's mine is mine? I'm just going to leave that
Mm.
there. Nicholas, yes, Neil, I had to cut off someone was I was still in school here because she wanted to talk down to me as I was still studying and not working at that time. I'm going to leave that there
Mm.
too. Dion, again, if that is their mentality and you're about that life, go along about your business. Yes. And that is what I have said from jump. If the women disrespecting you, man,
Moving
just
on. But here's
press.
the thing, Dion. The thing is, and we agree, move along. However, you gotta understand that mentality is more pervasive than you would think. So it's like you engage that, they give you that vibe, you say, all right, not that one. Go to another woman, get that vibe, not that one. Shoot, you may get in a relationship with someone, you may go a certain level of distance, years in it, children, whatever, and then you realize the woman get promotions along the way and say, you ain't making any money, you're not on my level, this ain't working out. So at some point, you kind of get fatigued. You know what I mean? So yes, I understand. You move on and you keep improving yourself and you keep moving on to the next possibility. Um, but is as women can tell you too, it is very difficult when you suffer the heartbreak, especially when you put time and effort into something.
Cross is saying, I don't see anything wrong with the woman supporting the household. I actually know of cases like this. It
It
happens.
happens.
But this is the question I want to ask. When things start to get a little tense, a little dicey in the relationship, ladies, are you still comfortable with that situation, that dynamic? Are you still going to happily pitch in and support? I don't want your playing the sky response here. Really think about it. When things get tight in the relationship and it got noise in the house, will you still be okay pulling your weight? Or are you going to be getting vexed and tell the man, well, you don't even do nothing in here. He's got to pay your bills in this house. You don't talk to me here. Let's noise in here.
And
Because these are things that really and truly do
and
happen.
we talk about love. We talk. The name of this podcast is what love got to do with it, right? And the love, but remember there is the Disneyfication of romantic entanglements or romantic relationships. We be in love. We be in love until the bills come. We be in love until the children come. We be in love until the mortgage bills come.
Until life get
Until life
real.
get real, we be in love, and then you really see who in love or who really was
When
in it
it's
for
time
something
for
else.
when it's time for the rubber to meet the road.
Facts.
CB says, Kevin says, again, right word ego, many don't know how to leave that at the door. All about who's running the show. Yeah. Nicholas, they had to ask, he was in a situation before he said they had to ask the question, am I the one for you because I'm not established here? You may need to see someone on your level and forget me. Dion, my comment with the music is that the music has a time period for a phase in your life. If I sang Bills when I was 25, doesn't mean I'm on that train now. Yeah, but a lot of people sing Bills at 25 and they're still singing Bills at
They
40.
got
As a matter of fact, they're singing even more Bills now because the older and got more debt,
they
right?
got men that in the 60s and 70s still got the part singing and wear do rice. I know a man that live in Spike still, right? The man got a flat top and has had this flat top for a time he was a younger man. This man easily got to be in his 70s. Man got a flat top.
I'm sure he tell you, Patrick, you and his rock
Okay
down
then.
there. Yeah, Justice says majority versus minority. What is interesting is that the things you mention in songs that embody what men look for are being erased in cancel culture. But the ideology of men being only valued for money
Oh dear
persists.
no.
Yes.
Ooh.
Um, those are not the feminists. Geez, maybe
That
miss
is
something there.
that is when you said that they were looking to get cater to me. The feminists were coming for cater to me.
Women who are against you are women currently going through the same thing. A broken musician was going through when they wrote, okay. Be sending Jesse the same shit, okay? Natalia is saying they want to cancel kids into you because they cater to the wrong man.
Ooh.
That would be true.
Oh my God.
I'll give you. They got ask who chose those men.
Uh,
Anyhow, keeping it trucking. Nothing is wrong with it, Steve, but how many men truly handle this without feeling emasculated, whether perceived or not? Then she holds down the house whilst he's out looking for a side piece because he comes home tired, etc. So, but if she comes home tired, etc., so often women end up holding the shitty end of the stick, though I'm sure some men do also. I like how you slide in that piece of balance at the end so that you don't come for that stick. But okay.
they learned it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but again, all these things are part of what makes our life. And if we want to pretend and act as though we all don't pass through certain thought processes, even if we don't or admit it openly, we sad. Yeah, and this is what I'm trying to communicate here tonight. Well, let me do a cross here. Cross is honestly don't call random bitter women feminists. That ain't it. And don't tell me that's just what it is. No, if you know better, do better. I see you again, Cross. Trying to preempt strike. But yeah, I will apologize for calling them feminist, Cross, because it was a rather loose use of the term. So I'll apologize for that misuse of the term. Erica, it may not be that a woman needs a man to make more or the same level of income as her, but if a woman works hard and has the financial maturity to own a car, a home, etc., she's looking for the same hard work and maturity from the man. When a man has made no substantial investment at a certain age, etc., it is a red flag.
Okay.
And that is, we agree.
Yeah, we agree, but just let's bear in mind how you attain your level of success is not how I may attain my level of success. Success is different for different people. For you, you work hard, you got your academics up, you got your paper up, you bought your car, you bought your house. Another man might just feel good to know that he could pay his bills when he month comes. I'm just saying, let me not.
We can't.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was saying we can't just use that as a blanket covering for how women are feeling generally. Some songs express how you feel at a period in time, and then sometimes they don't.
Fact.
Yes.
Yep. Agreed.
But again, okay. Let me backtrack a little bit. I don't really want to get into this topic tonight, but let me touch on it to kind of get a little bit of the wheel turning a little bit. Many people within the Black community are raised in single mother households. Ipso facto, those single mothers are saying to their daughters, find somebody that is going to elevate you. I know a woman that tells her she even tells her son so. Find somebody to elevate you, right? Find somebody to lift you up, right? And that is where we start with it. It starts in our homes when we are told point blank, do not hook up with a dud. Shout out to Claire, if she is. Do not link up with a dud. Nobody, you never see a U-Haul attached to a hearse. You never see a U-Haul attached to a hearse. Attach your U-Haul to somebody that going somewhere, that doing something. Doing something. For those of you who may be listening from across the Caribbean, all over the world, and other places and don't understand what saying is, right? Attach your U-Haul to somebody that is doing something, going somewhere. And that is the mentality that we've come up with which we've come up. So, when you have stuff like nothing going on like the rain, no scrubs, what have you done for me lately? These songs reinforce what we've already been told at home. And as such, it impacts both men and women. Men say, shoot, and women tell you point blank, if we bring it to the table, what you can do for me, as CV said, you can't do nothing, kick rocks, press. So men understand, all right, if they want to get on a certain level, this is what you got to do. It is why we talked about it last week. Some men lead with the wallets because it's like, shoot, I have to show my ability to be able to provide, especially if those men are not pre-selected. So those men have to then go into their pocket because they realize, shoot, I started having disadvantage because I may be short, I may be overweight, whatever, but I got some money. That's what I'm gonna use as my competitive advantage in this dating game. Let's not pretend that the stuff doesn't exist, right, guys? It isn't what it is. We know what it is. We can't make the massive paradigm shift as Justin was saying earlier, but once we know what we're dealing with, we are better able to cope with the situations we encounter. Just saying, you mean a woman looking for a completed man and not a project? Do you know how many men built houses for women and can't go in them and send them to school and get a break start live cut up for them from them? These are the bricks. Break it up, break it up, break it. Yeah, it happens. It happens. Dion says, I miss when y'all talked about children rhythm, but based on what Neil just said about women taking on these words, could the same be said about the words there?
No. The reason why I said that about the Trojan rhythm is because the Trojan rhythm is, that kind of music is for a minority. It is not mass media, right? People are singing about lived experiences or things that they would have heard people say about their experiences within that culture, right? And you will not see that subsection of society chant that as an anthem publicly and carry it all around. A little more passed me the other day singing a song that I like bad called Paranoid. That is with Crank Star and Chief Din, right? Very explicit lyrics, party chorus says we bad until we pass away. And he's singing that song, and I didn't think like, oh my God, that youngster's listening to those lyrics. He's gonna grow up to be a killer. No, I didn't think that. Right? I didn't think that. So I think it's different because Chief Din, probably, I guarantee you, if anybody has heard about Chief Din and heard any of his songs, put ones in chat. Y'all don't know who Chief Din is. Brutal Crank Star. And even if you've heard these people, you've not listened to their music. And if you listen to that music, everybody know Beyonce is though. So I'm saying, if the youth, and then too, here's the problem with the violence. Because it ain't the music that they're killing people, Yeah, you can listen to that music all day. You can smoke your weed all day. You still need a gun to do gun violence. You still need some sort of weapon or aggression to do these things. So, in my opinion, I think it's different things. I think that, if the music brings that type of energy, we're not saying that music is not for energy and experience. Again, I love that kind of music, but I ain't getting out there robbing or shooting nobody. I ain't getting out there pretending there's no bad man or anything like that. It's just an energy. Some people take it to heart because that's where they are and that's where they know. What's most important is the welfare system, the educational system, gun reform. A lot of things gotta happen in order for gun violence to go. Cutting the music, you can do that. Where you just cut to there?
Just a little bit, yeah.
There. All right, let me keep trucking. That's not a very good sign.
I had a little bit of a dip there. So Riaz says, I don't think men understand that women are angry, fed up, and frustrated. From baby daddies to unemployed men to infidelities. And yes, their choices in men may not be the best, but it doesn't mean it isn't a reality. Women put themselves in space mentally that they can cope. I guess that may involve not needing a man. I think we need to get to the problem. And real change needs to happen.
Agreed. Men in that same space too. I see Dion later on talking about the black woman experience, but there's the black man experience too. Not comparing struggles. I'm saying that, as we say in this space all the time, everybody going through something, right? And men and women are going through their own struggles, right? It does not negate one or elevate another. But yes, this is what this space is about because, we are we giving real experiences that we know about that is shocking some of you, and
I just find it interesting. We always say that men aren't given an ear, right? And I find every time we say, and it's interesting because we get a lot of contribution from the men tonight in the chat. And the men are saying, well, yeah, this stuff happens for real. Right? So let me deal with this comment here from baby daddies to unemployment to infidelities. And yes, their choices and men may not be the best, but it doesn't mean it isn't the reality. We can say the same thing. But here's the thing.
Shit.
I saw a clip this morning, or yeah, I think it's this morning, with a girl. She was dealing with a guy. She went out. She had sex with him, no protection, and then she said to him, I told you not to, ejaculate in me. And his response to that was, um, yeah, I see something in you that's special, and I think you would make a good single mother. And that's why he did what he
Wow.
did. So, because she was saying that she was pregnant after he found. He was like, yeah, congrats to you and your new family, you know.
Wow.
And yeah, them is dog moves. Yeah, them is dog moves.
Oh, there are some
Then the other way,
dogs.
yeah, then the way there's no other way to slice
Whew.
that. There's no other way to slice. Them is dog. But here's the thing, right? She made the decision to sleep with that man,
Mhm.
right? She made that decision. He looked good. They had no prior dealings or whatever. She knew that he was a what they call in that sphere of Pookie and Ray Ray. She knew that. She went deal with him, man. Deal with him, man, raw. Yeah, what happened to you is unfortunate, but don't come now and tell me that he met you a baby
Mhm.
mama. Nah, Dre. It's unemployed man. All right. Yeah, like he was working with your meaty. Guess what? If he unemployed, when you meaty. I want to start dealing, and he's still unemployed. What impetus have you given him to find a job? I mean, come on, let me be real. I tell you all, I can come here and Dixie Doodle we all. I ain't doing it, right?
Stop.
We make choices. We make choices.
Good or
And we
bad.
need to, and we need, guess what, good or bad, and we need to own and we take the credit for those
Mhm.
choices. If we make good decisions and we make good choices, we get good results, we take the credit for that. We take the credit for those choices. If we make bad decisions and we get bad results, as my boy Mark would tell you play country games, you get country prizes. Guess what? The credit is all at you.
Mhm.
But if you pick a dud and you lay down with a dud and bring a child to term for a dud,
And then vex
I
when the
mean,
dud.
don't be
When the
don't be vexed when they do dud things. That don't make sense to me.
are
You
you
know what I
gonna put the
mean?
man in
So
court for child support and
I get that we're all frustrated and we may vex and think, but guess what may
wait,
vex do?
wait.
May frustrated.
Because watch, I can guarantee you for every story you can bring on that, we have men that got women that ain't letting them see the child. That by talking the child to them or you know horny. Like the point is that again,
Yeah,
again,
because that's the next thing we talk about infidelities, but the men ain't cheating by themselves.
but you see,
They're cheating with
but
somebody.
hold on. Again, I think we fall in the trap here. That the trap is here. Women are talking about their experiences and their perceptions, but what we got to understand, just as we are asking them, we have to accept that. No, women, you got to accept too, right? Then a black woman struggle. There's a struggle, a human struggle, right? Because what your struggles are from your perspective, right? Like I keep hearing this thing about we women go through this and that physically in terms of period and this and that and the next and the third, and who are you to talk about our bodies and this and that and the third? But a lot of women's got a lot to say about men's bodies too. You know what I mean? I just saying I'm not comparing struggles. I don't think we should compare struggles or perspectives, or nor should we disregard someone's struggles because it doesn't match up to what we have heard or what we go through, right? Because as much as there are situations out there where men are dogs, I can easily find situations where women are dogs and doing dog things. You know what I'm saying?
The men are doing it by
Wait,
themselves. They're doing it with
wait,
somebody.
and
I see Crystal Howard in the chat. Welcome, Crystal. Good to
Crystal.
see you. In all seriousness, I would like my partner to be someone who is compatible and understands my love language. For me, that includes someone I can have meaningful conversation with. That supersedes title because someone with a title can be real awesome, but if he has a title and we're compatible, it's a bonus. Yeah. Um, yeah, Chris. Probably this is a okay, missing some stuff, I think. Kevin says to Fergie preach, and it kind of seems okay. Let me backtrack because I think it's it. Okay. Fergie says, I think men understand fine enough, but let's keep it real. It's all men's fault. Women's choices don't come into consideration, which is why Sean just now. And let me read that again because this is exactly what we're talking about here. And this, and then they saw Kevin agreeing with it, right? I think men understand fine enough, but let's keep it real. It's all men's fault. And this is how men feel. This is how men feel. Men feel as if things go well, yay. Women did it all fine and well.
Behind
Things
a strong
go
man is a
poorly,
strong woman.
yeah, things go poorly, it's men's fault. Shoot, Fergie said here, Kevin agreed. And if we ask more the men to drop ones in the chat for that comment, I'm pretty sure we would get some. You know what I mean? And then we come back and we say men are not given a hearing. I know we are saying what happens. We are saying what we as men have experienced. Because guess what? We got some personal experience talking here too. For both me and Neil. We got some personal experience talking here. The men in the chat telling you their personal experiences. And you're all trying to was tantamount to gaslighting.
I see
this shit don't
like
happen.
I see Dion saying I disagree. Human struggle is very different from the black woman struggle. The point I was trying to make, and this goes back to what Derek is saying, right? Your struggle as a black woman is a struggle. My struggle as a black man is a struggle. Who has the bigger struggle? What makes your struggle bigger than mine? I can only surmise that it's a human struggle because we are the only commonality we have is that we are human. You understand what I mean? So I get what y'all women saying. I know I've heard these stories. Men do some dogged shit, right? Men do some dastardly things, right? But to me, the things that men do are low hanging and easy to reprimand. The things that happen within the man-woman dynamic, like we here talking all about um basically what love has to do with it. We talked about it. There are some women out there that want to bring to the table. You bring your money or you're bringing the money. You got make more than me. You got to always be a step of me ahead of me. Now, granted, that is not like abuse. That is not sexual assault or anything like that. I would never compare the two. That is still a struggle for us because while it doesn't do that immediate damage to y'all, it still does the damage to us after so many times hearing you ain't making enough. You's a postman. You's a mechanic. You start to wonder, am I good enough? Am I good enough for the woman I want? Am I deserving? There are struggles that we have, and at some point we're going to talk about the patriarchal system because basically the struggle going on out there is meant to, I can only say, divide us and to keep us separated and keep us watching a goalpost that always moving. When you starting to deal in love and relationship and partnerships surrounding money and finances wholly and solely, right? I see Cross mention that she married her husband because at the end of the day, she know that the man can, if she bedridden, the man can wipe her ass and take care of her, right? That is what it is about. But so many of us are conflated in, yo, I want somebody that when the month come, yeah, the bills getting paid. Nobody is saying that. Nobody is saying that both people gotta be making money. Nobody is saying that Both people need to have a job. Both people need to be earning. Both people need to be financially stable. Nobody is saying those things. That's not the case. However, in the shuffle of everything, it seems that love has taken some steps down. Love ain't a factor anymore. Love is not a factor anymore. We are talking as men who have been in love to hear that I have fallen out of love with you. I'm not in love with you anymore. And it ain't got nothing to do with how much you make or how much you don't make. Sometimes it did, sometimes it didn't. It just comes from things that, the diversification. So I am not negating a black woman's struggle. I know it rough out there. I know it is rough out there. Remember, my mother is a black woman that made a lot of strides in corporate Barbados, and I heard the stories. I know full well what women go through. I have friends that are women. Shoot, I had a friend tell me one time that she went on a date and a man, first date, went well, everything like that. When she parked the car and they were just chatting away with the man, pull out his penis and say, yes, you can start this or not. The first date. There are bad apples amongst both of us, and we all have struggles. But I am not going to sit here and say that, yeah, y'all men struggle and go to this, but we all know about the black woman struggle. Nah, we all have struggles. And we are here telling you as two men, just think about it. We have the manosphere, and we have the red pill movement, and we have all of these men saying these things. You think that we're delusional? You think it's just the women that we choosing? They only got about so much women in Barbados. Shoot, they got more women than men in Barbados. I ain't date the same people as Katin. I ain't date the same people as Nicholas. I ain't date the same people as Mario. I ain't date the same people as Omar, Derek. None of that. Yet we all have similar experiences. And we've all dated from all walks of life, all education, all financial background, everything like that. And the pervasive thing is that love is not a factor. Love ain't a factor. Love is great in the first beginnings, honeymoon phase of a relationship.
I don't even love. That's lust.
I know what it is, but the point is, right? I have been in love and love hard. And then when the rug get pulled out of me and I hear I'm not in love with you anymore, we're just shifting, I don't know what to do with that.
Erica says no one more disrespected in this world than a black woman.
You see that? And this is my problem, yo. This is my problem. How do you know that? How do you know that? What? Tell me what data you have that a black woman is the most disrespected person on the planet. Because I can argue with you that the black man is the most disrespected man on the planet, the person on the planet. Because black women, well, yes, they are close to the bottom of the totem pole of the human substructure. The point is that at the end of it, black men are at the bottom because black men still are incarcerated at a majority rate than women. Y'all tipping my hand with this patriarchal thing,
Yeah, let's just come away from that.
But Erica, you see, you live it. I live it too. What we doing? We can compare.
And this is the thing, Neil. This is the thing. Cross calls it the whataboutism, right? We don't want to get into that, right?
And that's where there can always be a divide.
Because again, we're trying to started saying, men, this is what men go through. Yeah? And here we are at all the men and you made the point. I ain't date the same people as Fergie, I ain't met up the same people as Fergie, I ain't met up the same people as Katin, nor Justin. You know what I mean? And we all have similar experiences. Much like women would have similar experiences dating certain men. Right? But we're being told, or it's being suggested,
implied,
who is he all dealing with that, this stuff doesn't happen. It doesn't happen in your circle.
You gotta expand your pool, Neil.
But I don't even think I am pretty sure it happens within their own circles. It's just you don't know. Because your girlfriend's keeping it from the low. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we need to get away from one last thing on this. We need to get away from. I want us to start from now getting away from. Yes, we're coming from perspectives. Black women go through it. Black men go through it. We all go through it. I want us to get away from saying things like nobody understands the black woman struggle or the black man struggle. The point is, we created this space to show you, because nowhere you can, a lot of things y'all are finding out, women, that we men go through and that we men have experienced and that we men think, because this is not out there. This is not pervasive. This is not, as I said, I did a search.
It's not mainstream.
I did a Google search for black men podcast in the Caribbean, and there was none. None. Yes, you may have broad-basing topics like, okay, men in governance or violence or whatever, but these sorts of conversations are not happening amongst men. And the point that I'm trying to make is that we understand that y'all have struggles. We understand that y'all are disrespected. Everybody is disrespected. As black people, we are constantly disrespected. And we men feeling it. We are not negating your struggle, but this space here is for us to highlight certain things. That's why we want to bring one of friends. Your idiot cousin that got 2 baby daddies. Bring she. Bring your man. Bring the man that used to beat his wife. Or horn somebody. Bring them. Because you know what? If we keep saying, oh, the black woman struggle, or the black man struggle, or whatever, we ain't gonna have that conversation to say, yo, we need to change the community. Y'all deal with your community, which is the women. We deal with the men. And we meet in the middle in spaces like this. Because if y'all get in the echo chamber and say, the black woman struggle, the black women can say, you know what? At the end of the day, boy, this is just what we gotta go through as women. And not hold each other accountable. We men do it. Shoot, up to Saturday, we held each other accountable. Said things like, yeah, you know, I remember I was going to Senate. I had a conversation with 2 women and they said something, right? And when I get to Senate, I borrowed 10 minutes to let these women getting on my case for something. And the man said, yeah, you wrong, don't you? You were not right in this situation. And I had to apologize and I had to check myself. I literally don't see that amongst the women. Maybe happen. I'm not saying it don't happen. It's just I don't see it.
Cross is bringing a lovely point here to kind of wrap us all up. We at 9:45, right? Cross says data to support black women being the most disrespected in society. The history of gynecology. I could bring some data, but that's a whole other discussion. The point shouldn't necessarily be that though. It should be that we need to
actually listen.
We need to support each other and actually listen to each other's struggles. We tend to bristle at the idea that someone may have it worse than us, and that just isn't it. We don't listen to understand. We listen to reply. Yeah.
I see, Erica. You want diversity, but not alike.
Not all like a podcast or articulate or literate enough for a form like this. No shade needs a low quality.
You know what? We're working on that. We can have shoot. We can do it, but we need a vetting process because, well, yes, Erica, we know you would come and you would give insightful things, but then we know everybody in the chat. We don't want somebody just get on here and
bring the podcast into disrepute. Yeah. Fergie says, the victim Olympics, who's worse? This is the point of the whole conversation. Exactly. And there's currency. Victimhood is currency. In the immortal words of my friend Larry Marshall, victimhood is currency. Guys, we've come up to that kind of time of the night. It's always interesting discussion. Always great to sit and chat and discuss these things with you all. But all good things must come to an end. So as always, follow us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, The Senate Podcast, follow us on Instagram at The Senate Podcast 246. Email us, senateinsession@gmail.com.
Oh, wait, hold on. Before you wrap up, though, I just want to make a point. No, coming out of this conversation is about love is not enough, right? Women want what they want, yeah? But love is not enough. I see Dion made the point. Love is never enough. And that, to me, is sad because I find it guides us into making decisions that we walk away. I had a meme over the weekend said about settling. Right. And that in its term is insulted to me about settling. Right. But the point is, coming out of this discussion, I want us to at least start having the conversation of why are people doing things that they do. I want the women in here to talk with your friends. Talk with your friends and just let's get the conversation going. Right. Because it is clear that, some experiences that we're saying that we've perceived and that men that we know have perceived are like amazing to some of you, incredible. And we go through it just like anybody else doing it. I ain't saying one is better. I ain't saying one's worse. Point is, we feel it in our own way, in our own struggle. We want to create a dialogue and we want to get to the bottom of it. We may not make changes for us, but we got children in here. And I want my son to be dealing with this here 20 years from now. For real, because I have experienced some things in my life that no man should ever have to experience. And you know what? Another person may look at them and say you're an experience nothing. What about? But anyhow, I love y'all. I thank you for the engagement. We want y'all to keep having the conversation and keep challenging us, because this is the only way we are going to meet a common ground. Let us shed certain things and perspectives in our community in terms of, you know, come with an open mind. And you guys come with an open mind, right? But bring your friends, man. Because, yeah. Dion is saying love is never enough, because what we have been fed as love is not what is required for a relationship. If you define love as an all-encompassing, then yes, it will work. But that's not what we have been trained in.
Let me share a quick story before we roll, right? Let me share a quick story.
Amazing. Profound.
Many moons ago, I was teaching at Westbury Primary School, right? I definitely wasn't 21. And I was teaching, working with an older lady who I kind of called my mom at the time. And she said to me, Marshall, anytime I get married again here now, I ain't getting married for the love, you know. I get married for money. Cause love can't go in that super center. So Dion is right. Love is never enough.
And that's sad to me.
What is enough is a commitment, and a commitment to the other person and the duties, roles, or whatever that you decided that you want to take.
And you know, I would even beg to say that that's love too. I think that's what love is.
The love will come out of that. It will come after the fact. But we find this special someone and we get married and rack up $30,000 in wedding debt. That I love. Anyhow, folks, it's been great. It's been grand. We'll see you guys on Thursday. It's been awesome. I'll always be the best version of you for you. And we'll see you soon.
Good night, everybody.
Peace.
Stay safe and much love.
So come wind back for me. I wanna see if we got good chemistry. And come wind up for me. Don't hold back, y'all, just be free. I love how you dance and show off. You have my attention, yeah, you spit off. Dance for me.